Imagine this. An electron moves up, turns around, and then comes right back. A Swiss physicist once proposed an idea along these lines, an idea so unconventional that it was dismissed by many at the time. But what if he wasn't just theorizing? What if he had stumbled upon something that exposed a fundamental flaw in how we perceive reality? Modern science is only now catching up, proving that the reality you live in isn't solid or fixed. It's a shifting illusion, a construct that morphs based on your thoughts, your choices, and your awareness. What if everything you've been told about the world is wrong? What if you have been unknowingly trapped in just one version of yourself, while infinite possibilities exist all around you? A single physicist's discovery changed everything. It shattered the very idea of time as a rigid sequence. His findings prove that your past, present, and future are not preordained. They are constantly being rewritten based on your consciousness. Right now, you exist in one timeline, but what if you could shift to a better one? One where you are more successful, more powerful, completely limitless? The key to this transformation lies hidden in quantum physics. And once you understand it, you will never see reality the same way again. Erwin Schrödinger, the man who didn't just revolutionize physics, but exposed a flaw in the very fabric of the universe. His famous thought experiment, Schrödinger's cat, wasn't about a cat at all. It was about you. It was about proving that existence is not fixed, that reality is a shifting probability, collapsing into form only when observed. In other words, the universe doesn't exist in a definite state until your mind decides what is real. But here's what they never told you. Ancient civilizations already knew this secret. The Emerald Tablet, Buddhist sutras, Hermetic texts, they all spoke of a hidden force, an invisible code that connects all things. They knew that your thoughts don't just influence reality, they create it. And yet, this knowledge was erased, suppressed, rewritten. Why? Because those who understand the true nature of reality become unstoppable. For centuries, institutions, scientific, religious, political, have done everything in their power to keep you blind. They conditioned you to believe that you are powerless, that the world is beyond your control, that you are nothing more than a tiny speck in an unfathomable universe. But Schrödinger's discovery confirms what the ancient masters always taught. Reality is not something you live in, it is something you create. Have you ever felt that eerie, unshakable sense that something is off? A déjà vu so intense it feels like you've lived this moment before? A song, a scent, or a fleeting glimpse of something that rips you out of the present and drops you somewhere else. Somewhere you know, but shouldn't? This isn't just in your head. Time is not what we've been told. We were taught that time moves in a straight line, from past to future. But what if that's a lie? What if time loops, bends, resets, without you even noticing? What if reality itself isn't fixed, but something you are constantly shifting through? Think about those moments when time feels slippery. You wake up, go through your morning, and suddenly a glitch. Your coffee spills exactly like it did before. A conversation unfolds word for word as if you've already had it. For a split second, reality feels scripted, as if you're repeating something, trapped in a pattern you can't see. Now take it further. Every decision you make creates a fork in the road. Every choice splits reality into alternate versions, each playing out differently. In one timeline, you took the risk. In another, you played it safe. These parallel existences run side by side, unseen but real. But what if you could tap into them? What if your dreams, those vivid flashes of places you've never been but somehow remember, are glimpses into these other lives? What if every déjà vu, every gut feeling that you know what's coming next, is proof? proof that you are slipping between timelines. Now here's the real shock. If all possibilities exist, are you really making choices, or just following a path already laid out? Reality isn't a straight line. It's a web. Time loops back. Moments repeat. Alternate versions of you exist right now, just out of reach. It's almost as if a veil exists between our reality and what could have been. A thin, nearly invisible barrier separating us from alternate versions of ourselves, hidden possibilities, and unseen timelines. But what if that veil isn't natural? What if reality as we know it has been limited on purpose? Imagine reality as an immense cosmic library, but instead of books, it contains every possible outcome, every choice, every alternate version of history. And yet, for some reason, you are only allowed access to a single page at a time, while the rest remain hidden, unseen, suppressed. Ancient civilizations spoke of gods and mystics who could bend time, weave reality, and access different dimensions. Mythologies across the world tell stories of cycles, loops in time, where events repeat until something changes. These were not just legends, they were echoes of a deeper truth. Every decision you make creates a ripple, spinning off into different possibilities. In some versions of history, events played out another way. And sometimes, just sometimes, you can feel it. A fleeting moment when something seems off. A sudden flash of recognition that doesn't make sense. Scientists and philosophers have long debated whether our consciousness is filtering out these other realities. Maybe it's a built-in defense mechanism, a way to keep us focused, sane, and grounded in one timeline. Or maybe it's something bigger. Maybe we have been conditioned to ignore the signs. Look around. The idea of parallel worlds, time loops, and alternate realities has appeared in myths, folklore, and science fiction for centuries. Why? Because something in us remembers. Something in us knows that what we see isn't all there is. And now, science is catching up. As physics unlocks the secrets of time, space, and quantum mechanics, we are closer than ever to proving what our ancestors already hinted at. Reality is far stranger, far more flexible, and far less limited than we have been led to believe. But if that's true, then why is this knowledge only now resurfacing? Reality is not as solid as we think. Every moment, every choice, every action might be just one thread in a vast unseen web of possibilities. Science isn't just hinting at this, it's actively proving it. Quantum mechanics has already shattered everything we thought we knew. At the smallest level, particles don't exist in a fixed state. They exist in multiple states at once. Only when observed do they choose a single reality. This isn't just bizarre physics. It's a direct sign that multiple realities exist simultaneously. Now, take that idea further. What if every choice you make spawns a new reality? Every decision splits off into a new timeline, where another version of you plays out the option you didn't choose. This isn't just science fiction. The multiverse theory suggests this is how reality actually works. And the strangest part? There may be hidden connections between these alternate worlds. Think about Back to the Future, where a few changes in the past completely reshape the present. These aren't just fun ideas. They are based on real scientific principles. Quantum entanglement proves that particles, even when separated by vast distances, remain instantly connected. Change one, and the other reacts immediately, no matter how far apart they are. If this is happening at the quantum level, could it be happening at the level of reality itself? Could different versions of you, existing in different timelines, be subtly intertwined in ways we don't yet understand? It gets even crazier. String theory suggests that the entire universe, including all possible universes, is made of vibrating energy strands. These strings don't just shape our reality. They could be shaping countless others. Different vibrations could create entirely different worlds, coexisting right alongside ours, unseen, but very real. And then there's time. Einstein's theory of relativity tells us time is not fixed. It bends, stretches, and folds depending on speed and gravity. This means the past, present, and future aren't separate. They are layered, stacked, and potentially accessible. Time doesn't just move forward. It could loop, intersect, or even split into parallel versions. This isn't just theoretical. It's already embedded in our culture. Think of Groundhog Day, where Bill Murray relives the same day over and over, only able to escape once he evolves as a person. Or The Matrix, where the world we accept as real is actually an illusion. These stories resonate because, on some level, we feel they could be true. You've heard "Beam me up, Scotty," but what if I told you quantum teleportation is already real? Scientists aren't teleporting people yet, but they are teleporting quantum information across distances, without anything physically traveling. No spaceships, no science fiction gadgets, just pure, mind-bending physics. Here's how it works. Using quantum entanglement, researchers have made a particle state disappear in one place and instantly reappear somewhere else. Nothing moves through space. It's as if reality itself copies and pastes the information while deleting the original. But here's the kicker. If anyone tries to eavesdrop on the transfer, the data self-destructs. Translation? The universe doesn't let you spy without breaking the system. This isn't just theoretical. It's happening in labs right now. While teleporting humans is still in the realm of Hollywood fantasy, the impact of quantum teleportation on cybersecurity and computing is already massive. We're looking at a future where unbreakable encryption becomes reality, where even the best hackers in the world would need to defy the laws of physics just to intercept a message. But now, let's take it even further. Some researchers dare to ask, if quantum states can be preserved, erased, and manifested elsewhere, what does that mean for consciousness? Think about it. If a particle's information can be teleported, and if consciousness turns out to be a complex quantum process, then could a mind, memories, awareness, identity one day be transferred across space? Right now, it sounds like pure science fiction. But quantum physics has a habit of turning yesterday's impossible into today's headline. So maybe, just maybe, we are on the first steps toward unlocking something even more profound. A reality where teleportation isn't just about moving data, but about moving minds. What does this mean for you? Some researchers believe time loops could explain déjà vu, prophetic dreams, and strange glitches in reality. Imagine if, just for a second, you slipped into a version of time that had already happened. What if, in some hidden way, we are constantly jumping between slightly different versions of our own reality? And quantum computers are now pushing these boundaries even further. Unlike classical computers, which process data in a linear way, quantum computers operate in multiple states at once, just like quantum particles. This means they can simulate complex multi-reality systems, bringing us closer to unlocking how reality truly works. Right now, you are operating within one version of reality. But what if you could break through? Scientists have already proven that time doesn't move in a straight line. Choices don't just disappear, and alternate timelines may be real. But here's what they won't tell you. You can learn to access them. This isn't just theory. People have unknowingly tapped into these hidden layers of existence for centuries. Through intuition, through déjà vu, through moments of pure, unexplainable clarity. But what if you could do it on command? What if you could shift timelines, rewrite outcomes, and consciously step into the most powerful version of your life? Stay with me. because in the next few moments, you'll discover exactly how. And once you see the truth, there's no going back. Here's how to bend reality using the hidden code. Step 1. Pay attention to patterns, synchronicities, repeated signs, strange coincidences. These are not random. They are proof that your energy is influencing reality. The more you notice them, the more they happen. Step 2. Understand that your outer world is reflecting your inner state. If your reality feels chaotic, it's because your energy is chaotic. Shift your thoughts, shift your emotions, and watch how the universe physically rearranges itself around you. Step 3. For the next 24 hours, focus on one specific thought or symbol. It could be a certain phrase, a specific object, or an unusual image. Then watch how reality bends to bring it into your awareness. Most people will never understand this. They will keep living in a reality dictated by external forces, never realizing they are the ones creating the script. But you now know the truth. And the next step is even bigger. Because if you can shift energy this easily, what happens when you jump timelines entirely? And what if I told you that right now, there are multiple versions of you, each living a different reality? One version of you is stuck in the same old patterns. Another version is thriving beyond your wildest dreams. The only difference? The choices you make today decide which version of you becomes real. But this isn't science fiction. This is quantum physics. Every time you make a decision, whether it's to take action or stay the same, you are collapsing infinite possibilities into a single reality. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads between multiple parallel timelines. And the craziest part? You can consciously choose which one to step into. Scientists have already proven that subatomic particles don't exist in a fixed state until they are observed. Until a choice is made, they remain in a state of pure potential, existing in multiple states at once. This is called the many-worlds interpretation, and it suggests that every possibility already exists. You just have to step into it. Think about this. Somewhere in another timeline, there is a version of you who already has everything you desire. The success, the confidence, the freedom. It already exists. So why aren't you living it yet? Because most people are locked into their old identity. They believe they are stuck in their circumstances. But the moment you change your identity, you shift into the timeline that matches it. This is the art of quantum leaping, hacking reality by shifting into the version of yourself that already lives the life you want. Imagine standing at the edge of time, staring into an infinite ocean of possibilities. Each moment, each decision stretching into countless timelines, each one unfolding in a different way. Now, imagine if you could jump between them, not just as a thought experiment, but as a real, tangible shift in your reality. This is the quantum jump, the ability to shift consciousness, to move from one timeline to another, where circumstances change, sometimes subtly, sometimes drastically. It's like standing in a hallway lined with endless doors, each leading to a different version of your life. The moment you open one, everything changes. Alternate timelines aren't just science fiction. Every choice you make branches off into a new reality, creating a version of existence where another you took a different path. Ever wondered how your life would have played out if you had made a different decision? That reality still exists. The question is, can you step into it? The key lies in your mind, your focus, your energy, your belief system. They dictate which timeline you experience. This theory isn't just about looking back at what could have been. It's about shifting into the version of life that aligns with your true purpose. So how do you do it? It starts with intentional focus. You don't just think about another reality, you embody it. You act, feel, and make decisions as if you are already living it. Like tuning a radio to a specific frequency, your thoughts and emotions lock you into a new timeline. Many believe that certain practices, meditation, visualization, affirmations, can act as tools for these shifts. By aligning your energy with the reality you want, you start vibrating at the frequency of that timeline. The more you lock into it, the more seamless the jump becomes. People who claim to have experienced quantum jumps report small but undeniable shifts in their surroundings. An object slightly out of place, a memory that doesn't quite align with what others remember, even entire life events unfolding differently than expected. While anecdotal, these experiences challenge what we assume to be fixed reality. But here's the real question. If all possibilities exist, which reality are you choosing right now? Because at this very moment, you hold the power to shift everything. Step 1. Reprogram your mind. The reality filter. The first thing you must understand is that your perception creates your reality. Your brain acts as a filter, processing trillions of bits of information every second, but it only lets in what aligns with your beliefs. This is why two people can live in the same world but experience completely different realities. Ancient texts and modern neuroscience both confirm that what you focus on expands. If you continuously think about problems, you will see more problems. If you tune your mind towards solutions and new possibilities, you start shifting into a timeline where those solutions already exist. Practical exercise. For the next 24 hours, take control of your focus. Whenever you catch yourself thinking negatively, consciously redirect your thoughts. Instead of saying this is impossible, say a solution already exists, I just haven't seen it yet. Do this consistently, and you'll start shifting into a reality where better outcomes manifest effortlessly. Step 2. The quantum identity shift. Embody the future you. Quantum physics suggests that all possibilities exist simultaneously, including a version of you that has already achieved everything you desire. The key is to stop seeing that version of yourself as separate from you and become that version in the present moment. Your identity dictates your reality. If you believe you are stuck, you will stay stuck. If you shift into the mindset of someone who has already succeeded, the external world will begin to mirror that belief. Practical exercise. Write down a detailed description of the most powerful version of yourself, the one who has already achieved everything you want. How do they think? How do they act? What kind of decisions do they make? Now, for the next 7 days, embody that version. Walk, talk, and think like them. The moment you do this, you are tuning into that timeline and pulling